Hello, everyone. Sokola Lair here, and welcome back to Work It, Live It, Own It. This is the first video and episode that I'm releasing for 2026. Took much needed time off to take care of myself and my health, but I'm very happy to be back. And so, our topic today is all about the success paradox. We're going to dive into what that means, why I call it the success paradox, and how to overcome this without burning out. So if this is your first time tuning in, welcome back. This is the place to be because we're sharing realistic strategies to go from burnout to brilliance. And so I want to ask you guys a question. Have you ever had a moment where you looked around at your life and on paper, everything seemed right? It seemed perfect to the outsiders. You have the job title that you worked so hard for, the house you dreamt of. You may have your spouse, your loved ones, your kids, a great group of friends. And you've checked off all the boxes that you were told to check or that society has said that you should check. But in the quiet moments, maybe it's on your commute or even after you put the kids to bed and the house is quiet and still, you feel this hollowness inside, this quiet nagging of a question. Is this it? Is this all there is to my life? So if that sounds familiar, then you're not alone. And I don't want you to think that you're being ungrateful because a lot of times as women, we start to feel ungrateful for the life that we do have. So if you're just experiencing this, then this is what I call the success paradox. And today we're going to actually dive into this. We're going to talk about why it happens and how to find your way out of it. So without further ado, let's dive in. So the core problem is that you may feel empty or even feel ungrateful for the life that you worked so hard to build. And you look at your success and you think, I should be happy, but I'm not really. What's wrong with me? And so the reason why you may feel this way isn't because you're broken. It's because you have successfully completed a script that you were given to by society, and now you've outgrown it. So you've been so focused on achieving what you should want, and you've never stopped to ask yourself what you actually do want in life. And so that's where the paradox comes in. Now, I want you to think of this like a graduation ceremony. You're graduating. Now, you've followed the curriculum, the syllabus perfectly for years. And now you're standing on stage with your diploma in hand for the very first time. There's no map, no syllabus for what's to come next. And some people may look at this as failure, but it's not. It's not failure. It's an unnerving freedom of an open-ended future. And you finish the game. And now you get to create your own. So this emptiness, again, is not a sign that you failed. Let's put that out there right now. You're not a failure. However, it is a signal that you're ready to stop following the script and start your own. Let's write your own. And so we're going to do the first powerful step in this. And what I want you to do is I want you to realize if the old script isn't working, how do we write a new one? What we're going to talk about is 2 priorities. And I created a framework for myself over a decade ago that I use to help me recognize the signs of burnout and how to step away from the ledge of going into the burnout abyss. I call it the prone to power framework. And P is for priorities. And when we look at our priorities, you have to decide and decipher, am I just doing busy work? Am I living life, or is life living me? Because you can be busy and you may think you're productive, but you're not actually fulfilled. And so your days are packed. You have to-do list, you've created your New Year's resolutions, and yet you feel like you're running on a hamster wheel. You're working hard on things that don't truly light you up and ignite you on the inside, both at work and at home. And so this happens when there's a fundamental misalignment. And so you're living according to your assigned priorities. The script that you were told should be important instead of your authentic priorities. The things that genuinely matter to your soul, the things that light you up. And I delve deeper into this in my book, Harmony Hustle for Women. I'll put the link in the description below. This misalignment is the root cause for so much of our burnout. And let me give you a quick story here. There's a woman I know, but for privacy purposes, we're just going to call her Sarah. Now, Sarah has a high corporate job. She's in marketing with a big tech company, well respected, great salary. Now, her assigned priorities were career advancement and financial security. That's what a lot of people crave and want in life. But when we started doing some work and we started delving a little bit deeper, we discovered that Sarah's authentic priorities were creative expression and deep connection with her kids. That's what a lot of moms want. And so her successful life was organized around her assigned priorities. And it was actually starving her from what she really truly needed in life. And so her job provided no room, no space for creativity. And it was so demanding that it left no time for her kids. And so the only way to close that gap of the success paradox is to get clear on what really truly matters to you. And so the solution isn't to work harder. It isn't to check everything off on your to-do list. It's more about aligning your work and your life with your authentic priorities. And so this leads us to the third point today, a practical strategy to discover those authentic priorities. So if I were to ask you right now what your authentic priorities are, you might draw a blank. I've been there. When you ask me on the spot, okay, what is your mission, vision, and purpose in life? What lights you up inside? It takes time to figure those things out. Some people are really good. They go right off the cuff. They can tell you what you want. But if you've been struggling and going through the cycle of the success paradox, it can be a little bit challenging, but no longer. I'm going to give you a strategy and a tool that you can use. So if you've been so focused on your career, your family, and everyone else's needs for so long that you've lost touch with the sound of your own voice, you can't think your way through your priorities. You have to feel your way through them. And so your mind has been so conditioned for years on the shoulds, but your body and your energy are going to tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. And your energy is the most honest compass you have that's right for you. And so I want you to conduct a simple experiment for 1 week for 7 days. I call this the energy audit. At the end of each day, I want you to write down the answer to 2 questions. The first one is, what one thing today gave me the most energy? And the second question is, what one thing drained the most energy from me? So maybe you had to sit in a meeting for a couple of hours and that drained you. But a 15-minute chat with a coworker about a creative idea lit you up inside. Maybe after school chaos drains you. Helping your daughter, though, or your son with an art project could energize you. I want you to just observe each day for a week without judgment. So let's bring this all together. The feeling of emptiness when your life feels perfect on paper is not the problem. It's a signal that your inner wisdom is just trying to waking you up and tell you that you're ready for a life that is defined by you and not by other people. We've also recapped and talked about aligning your priorities and getting a practical strategy and doing an energy audit for a week and realizing what the difference is between your assigned priorities and what your authentic priorities are. So again, here's my challenge, yet my invitation to you for this month. Just do the audit for 7 days. Just notice, give yourself that gift of your own attention. You've given it to everyone else and everything else for decades. Now it's your turn. So to help you with this, I created a simple 1-page energy audit worksheet. You can download this for free, or you can reach out to me at info@workitliveitownit.com and I will email it back to you directly. And so this idea of aligning your authentic priorities is the absolute foundation of the Harmony Hustle. And of course, I dive deeper into that in my book, Harmony Hustle for Women, Learning How to Thrive in Life and Career. I'm going to put the link to that below. I'm also going to put the link to the energy audit below. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I know how valuable your time is. And so I'm honored that you chose to spend this with me for a little bit. And so in 2 weeks, we are actually going to talk about the success paradox a little bit deeper. We're going to talk about how to get your loved one, your spouse, your partner on board while you're going through the success paradox phase. We're going to talk about how you can have a conversation that still unites you so that way you're both one team working together. You may be a few steps ahead or a few steps behind. It doesn't matter. I'm going to show you how you can have that conversation. So thank you again for tuning in and continue to work it, live it, own it in your everyday lives. Take care, guys. Until next time.